Hello and welcome to another episode of On the Topic. I'm going to be heralding the beginning of this podcast. I'm Alex.
That was good. It is clobbering time. I am Dan.
Oh, it is. Although he's reticent to say it. If you haven't guessed and you haven't read the description of this episode, it is on the go for the Fantastic Four. And at the time of recording, it's been out less than a week.
It has.
Just shy of less than a week. I haven't seen any spoilers.
No, I was going to ask you actually.
No, I've seen nothing.
Usually this is your beef before every On The Go episode is I've been spoiled.
Now, I do wonder whether people... And you'll probably show me some stats in a second as the time recording, not to prompt you, but I wonder if people aren't watching it. What's the number so far?
Well, the budget is $200 million. Box office, 227.1 million. So it's not doing too badly, but I've got some stats for you, Alex.
Hang on a minute, how much was production? 200?
200. So
and they're on 221, sir?
227.1.
So they broke even, and I think in order to make a tidy profit, they've got to hit, was it 500, 600?
It's usually about that, because they don't take marketing and all that stuff into account, do they?
No. Okay, so that's not bad.
I've got some stats for you, though, Alex.
Yeah.
You'll like this. Now, according to Variety, Fantastic Four earned a huge $24.4 million in Thursday's previews, besting Superman, which raked in $22.5 million as the year's biggest preview haul so far. Compared to other Marvel movies, Fantastic Four towered over Captain America Brave New World, which only raked in $12 million, and Thunderbolts, which only raked in $11.5 million in previews.
Bar Thunderbolts, so they're quite tight margins, though. I mean, yes, it's good that it's leading the pack, but there's not an awful lot in it. It's maybe a couple of million.
No.
Okay, so perhaps it's onto a strong start. But look, guys, On The Go episode, if you haven't learned by now, we are walking. Is that AMSR? ASMR? ASMR.
I suppose it is. You might get some squawking seagulls, some passing cars, some music. Here we go. Look.
Yeah, people got the windows open. It's summertime here at the time of recording.
Quite a muggy evening. I think there's thunderstorms cast for tomorrow, Alex.
There is, on the south coast of Portsmouth. And we talk about our hopes and our dreams as we walk towards the cinema doors.
We do.
And then, in the blink of an eye, a mere jingle, listener, and then within about 20 seconds we're back, and it's the future, and we've come out the cinema doors. Sometimes we start recording before we've actually got out the cinema doors, like last time, and we talk about our immediate thoughts, but they're spoiler-free.
Yes.
We don't talk about anything we've seen, just our initial thoughts and our feelings, and then we talk about all the spoilery stuff in the episode afterwards, usually, which is the review. So hopes and dreams then, Dan, for the 38th? I
think you're right. It's either 37th or 38th.
I think it's 38th. MCU film kicking off phase 6.
It's a tough one. Because again, I don't know if I'm fatigued with the whole Marvel superhero thing. I mean, this is our bread and butter, right? This is where the podcast began way back in 2018. I suppose it's been quite a solid year for Marvel. I've not enjoyed anything that they've churned out.
No, it's been pretty good quality, and it's been. I think they've righted the ship. The ship was going a bit off direction in the last probably 10 years, and it seems to be back on the right course. Perhaps
I'm hoping we're going back to basics.
Now, what's basics for you then, Dan?
Nothing too complicated.
Okay.
I want quality over quantity, and we seem to have had that this year.
Yes.
You know, I think I've remarked in a previous episode that I actually really enjoyed Ironheart.
I did too.
Despite the review bombers.
I got to ignore them.
But I've not seen anything that bad about the Fantastic Four First Steps. So I'm hoping that I saw someone say it's almost like being back in phase 1.
Okay.
Like that quality. So I'm hoping we're there. But fingers crossed. That's sort of what I'm looking for. Just a nice, simple storyline. Nothing too complicated. Easy to follow.
Do you think you'll get that with 37 other films before it? Do you think that's possible?
I think so.
Okay.
But then we've had Infinity War and Endgame, which was taking place all over the world, all over the universe. And that was quite easy to follow anyway.
Yeah.
But I want something that's not going to lose my interest. I don't think it will. I just want good storytelling, Alex.
Okay.
I think that's all I want out of this.
That's nothing. That's not a tall order. By the way, we're just walking past the ferry port,
Lots of car.
and it's kick-out time from the Isle of Wight, hence the background noise. So we've always said this is a bit of ASMR, so this is what you get.
Yes.
Traffic. I guess for me, I don't want anything convoluted. It's not that I don't like a connected universe. Everyone does. They like the odd cameo. But because it's in a different universe and it's a whole new cast, they don't have the baggage of having to connect everything. So I agree. I just want something simple, something enjoyable. I agree with your definition of back to basics. It's a good storyline. Perhaps some nods, but actually, as I say, it doesn't have to rely upon it because it's not in 616. I think the acting should hope to be on par.
Yeah.
I like the idea of the kind of 60s retro Jetson vibe. I want to see a lot of that because it's very different, obviously, to what we've seen elsewhere in the MCU. So I want to see a different kind of film, maybe a sci-fi, optimistic kind of future Earth. And then aside from that, I don't really have many expectations because every time we've gone in with the lofty heights and wishes, we've always been let down by CGI. That's something else, actually. I want to kind of have a solid CGI effort, good special effects.
Well, I've heard, a lot of people complained how Julia Garner looked as the Silver Surfer in the trailer. But I've seen some comments to say that actually they've really polished her up for, quite literally, they've polished her up for the actual film.
Okay.
So hopefully she'll look a lot better in the final production than she was in the trailer. But then this is always the case with Marvel. They spruce things up for our viewing pleasures for when we finally get to the big screen.
Yeah, I mean, still goes back to what I would talk about in the state of the MCU, I think, where we'll talk about what cost, with all these VFX studios being worked overtime and out of contract because they've got to squeeze more in at the last minute. I hope that's not the case now because they have unionised. And there obviously has been the fallout since COVID. So I'm hoping it isn't a result of that and it was almost like a beta release. It was a trailer and we're seeing now something better. But yeah, fine. I never had an issue with how... Was it Garner, do you say?
Yes.
I never had an issue with how she looked. I'm not in that camp. Because
no, a lot of people seem to have an issue that she's a female Silver Surfer, which
it's already been,
is comic book lore anyway.
It's already been that way.
I've had so many arguments with people on the internet again, probably being called a shill in return,
But I really don't... But if it wasn't in the comics, so what? So what?
It's a different universe.
Exactly, and it's a whole take on a whole new, storyline, and that's what Marvel do. So I don't have a problem with that, even if it wasn't comic book accurate. So,
nor does Doug Jones, the original Silver Surfer.
No.
Do you want me to read a quote?
Please.
I do wish Julia Garner well. I love that I've seen in the trailer so far. It's a different take on the Surfer, and she does exist in the comic books as well.
She does.
There's source material to back her up, so I'm excited to see how they bring that to the film world.
So shut the hell up, you haters.
Yeah, get in the sea.
Unless she's not very good, in which case then there might be some basis, but I'm not getting that vibe.
No.
Okay, well, we're just passing Costa and...
Las Iguanas.
Las Iguanas. And some people dressed up in their finest garms for their celebratory...
Graduation,
yes.
Yeah.
So it's a lovely vibe down here in Gunwharf Keys and the South Coast. And also we haven't got too much anticipation. We're hoping for some good things, but otherwise an uncomplicated, fun frolic.
Yeah. I mean, just to follow up actually on the state of the MCU from last year, we should probably do a follow-up this year at some point. And because I've seen a couple of questionable things from Kevin. I've sent you a couple of quotes over Instagram. Is he?
Have you not read? Yeah,
no.
He's leaving.
Oh, he's definitely leaving.
I think it's not. It may be the end of next year. I think, if not this year.
Wow, interesting. But I mean, there was a couple of comments from him recently, which I sent you via Instagram, and I was sort of outraged a little bit. And we can obviously discuss some of those points.
You can drop those grenades and run, Connie.
Yeah. Oh boy.
But on that bombshell, for a mere jingle and a couple of seconds, listener, For you, it'll be a couple of hours for us. What's the run time? It's 2 hours 10, wasn't it?
About 2 hours.
It's not a long one. So we'll come back in just a couple of moments with our initial thoughts as we walk out cinema doors.
Lovely.
See you in a moment.
And just like that, we are out of this. Well, not quite out of the cinema doors.
No, gets earlier each time.
It gets earlier every time.
And we are back. And, well, that's been 2 hours, give or take, for us. A mere 20 seconds for you guys. And that's the end of Fantastic Four First Steps. And we are now out into the outside world. A bit cooler again.
It is.
A bit roasty toasty in that cinema, wasn't it?
It was very muggy. I mean, it seems to be getting warmer in there every time we go in.
It is. But maybe that's because of our excitement for what we just saw. Look, just joining us. I mean, you've just missed 15 minutes of a preamble. I don't know why you just fast forwarded, but just to remind you, perhaps on the on-go episodes, we don't post any spoiler-rific stuff. We just talk about our raw emotions, our feelings.
Yes.
Perhaps some of our hopes and dreams that perhaps we would have anticipated as we just watched that film. Dan, initial knee-jerk reactions. Do you like it? What do you reckon?
Do you want me to say it?
I think you're going to have to.
I thought it was fantastic.
Clobbering. Oh,
sorry, I went there.
I thought we were going to say clobbering time.
Well, it was clobbering time.
It was
so
clobbering
yes,
time.
But no, I genuinely thought it was fantastic.
And I think they clobbed it out the park. They hit it out the park. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I think. What did you say to me when we were waiting for the end credits? You said it felt like.
It felt like I was back in Phase 1, watching the Avengers.
Yeah.
You got Galactus traipsing through New York.
No spoilers because you saw that in the trailer. So.
Well, yes,
that's
that
okay.
is true.
Yeah.
I won't say too much.
No. Got to keep on the straight and narrow.
But it has that. The moments where you think, oh, are they going to make their way out of this?
Yeah.
Again, I don't want to spoil too much. I mean, how do I do it?
I don't know.
I can't.
I don't know how you do it.
I'm just gonna have to shut up right now.
Yeah.
If I get too involved.
Yeah, you don't want to do a Tom Holland. But I mean, look, I think the odds were against them, and we were talking about how do you follow 37 other films before it, but keep it its own, and did. I mean, there's lots of kind of subtle nods and Easter eggs and references, which I'm not sure if you picked up on, and we'll talk about it in the subsequent episode. But as a standalone film, it is in its own right. It didn't need to talk about the Avengers. The Avengers not even a thing in this Earth. It doesn't even know anything about Iron Man or Captain America or any of the founding Avengers. It is just the Fantastic Four and the Future Foundation. Actually, that's enough for this film. And I don't think we've ever come across maybe the Eternals. The Eternals almost standalone because they didn't need any of the Avengers.
No.
And people are on the fence more one side than other in terms of whether they enjoyed the Eternals. But I think that's the only film that really stood on its own without referencing or being linked to anything else. But yeah, this one, it dealt with it pretty well. You going to say something?
Yeah, I was going to say, I liked the fact that, we're talking about another universe here.
Yes.
And New York, it felt familiar, but it was very different. It felt like 1960s, but reimagined to what it would be like in the future in that time period.
The
Does
Jetsons.
that make sense?
It's the Jetsons.
Yeah, that's it. Yes, that's a good shout, actually.
Yeah, I saw that. No, I can't come up with that. I read that somewhere online, and someone saying that they loved the aesthetic. And I really like the fact that actually the audience are fully immersed in this universe. Not once are you taken back to Earth 616 or any other Earth that we recognise.
Nope.
You are spoken to as an audience member from the presenter,
Yes.
who opens the TV show and talks to you as an audience member about the backstory. And not once does it break that. You're always fully immersed in this world. And actually, I think it was done very, very well.
Yeah.
Very cleverly. To that point, I think it was a breath of fresh air. Because it was so unfamiliar but familiar at the same time, I really enjoyed kind of not knowing what to expect. What is this Earth? What is the possible? Because actually, we haven't seen anything of this magnitude since probably Thanos.
Yeah, no, I would agree.
Without saying too much, I mean, everyone knows about Galactus, right? he is a world eater. So how do you combat something like that in the retro 60s futuristic vibe? I think they managed it actually very well. Yeah, I mean, for me, I enjoyed it. I agree. It was definitely, it felt like the starting of something, for sure.
You said something as well on the way out. It
I
was
say a lot of things.
it was like a reset. It felt like that reset which we
Yeah.
probably needed to get away from Phase 4, Phase 5, which have been, it's had its ups and downs. It's been peaks and troughs.
Yeah, and what I'll say is, when we were going into this, it's almost like we read the pitch notes for it. It was a very simplified storyline. There is something afoot, and they have to fix it. There's nothing else. There's no someone else introduced to the mix, or there's no kind of side plots. That is just it, and I think that's enough.
Yeah,
that was enough to really take you on that journey and kind of concentrate fully on what was happening. I think the storyline was strong enough.
It skims the origin as well. In
Yeah,
a sense, it does tease it a little bit. You get a couple of.
It does a Tom Holland Spider-Man, right? We don't need to go over it again. We've had two different iterations of this before, and it's a good point you make. Actually, I think they dealt with it very well. We already know they went into a spaceship and something weird happened. They came back down. They're not the same. You don't need to rehash that for 40 minutes. You just get straight into it. However, what I did like though, is how they were telling the bits in between where we are now.
Yes.
Before. In between what happened when they got transformed.
You get a bit of a fast forward, don't you?
You do. You've got the Mole Man. You've got the
magician, was it?
Yeah, and the monkey horde. I liked all that because actually that was new. It's new to me because I don't know too much about the Fantastic Four origins. And it's almost like, these are things you missed out on. But the first bit, we're just telling you the bits, and they do some superhero stuff, and there's some kind of Z-list baddies, and now we're going to introduce you to this main storyline.
How dare you talk about the Mole Man like that?
I know. Who was fantastically played. Let's talk about the cast, actually, Dan.
Yes, let's do that.
Casting was pretty good. I don't think there was a misstep there. The cast isn't very big. Actually, if you think about it, there's maybe 8 unique characters.
Yes.
And some of those are supporting ones. It's not a massive cast. But in that regard, I think they were all relatively well done. My only misstep, and I don't think I'm spoiling this for anyone, I think the comedy was done better in the original Fantastic 2002,
2005 and 2007.
I think they were better. I think it was funnier.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's because it's Chris Evans, but he's a funny guy. I just didn't find the comedic tone in this film.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not sure because it was a super serious film.
It did lack a little bit, I think, compared to previous MCU films as well. There was a couple of laughs, but I know what you're saying. It didn't really have that.
No, and that's okay because tonally they shouldn't all be the same. They shouldn't be, they shouldn't have to be comedic relief interspersed with serious plot points. I'm just saying that the bits I think it didn't resonate with me. But that's okay. And I think when we talk about, the storyline overall, what's come to mind was, Dan, it was a bit like a disaster film. It was a Marvel disaster film, which is what we love. We love disaster films, don't we? Especially when you're hungover.
Thankfully, I wasn't today.
And it felt like it was an Armageddon, a Disney Armageddon.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And again, I like that fact because it's not as though, they are going toe-to-toe with the baddie and their friends turn up and they save the day. It's almost as though they've resigned themselves to the fact that they may not make it. And that's not something we've kind of seen before, with previous kind of films and iterations. We've seen baddies turn up with armies and it's just doing the numbers.
Yeah.
Whereas in this scenario, they actually don't know if they're going to make it.
We have a world eater. He is coming to literally eat the planet. We, again, hopefully not spoiling too much, but we see Galactus eat a planet.
Yeah. He's got the munchies.
I would be too after traveling space like that.
Exactly. It's hungry work. So, yeah. All I'm saying is I quite enjoyed that aesthetic because you haven't got that in any other film. I think that's because it is so standalone. Yeah, so if you're into disaster films and you're into superhero films, you're going to have a lovely time with this film.
Oh yes,
It really is a unique setting. VFX, Dan.
I think at times it felt a little bit ropey, but it's definitely come along better. I think they've given the staff more time to try and get things right.
Boy Racer, yes.
There was a couple of moments. It was more around, I think, the movements of the baby. You could see
I was going to say.
a little bit CGI'd.
At times they were, of course, you'd expect it, but had to swap out the real baby for CGI one in certain scenes. But they weren't scenes of action. They were scenes where they were talking. Being held by a particular character. I think in the main, I think you're right. It was better. It was improved. It wasn't a She-Hulk, that's for sure.
No, definitely not. I'll go back to the cast, actually. The standout for me was Vanessa Kirby.
Yeah, and I wasn't too sure how she was going to fare, coming from what I'd only really ever seen her in, which was the Mission Impossible films.
Yeah.
And she had a particular role to play in that, the stony-faced, cold killer boss kind of role. This one, she definitely had the emotion for sure.
She was warm. She had that motherly love.
Charismatic.
And in the sense of she is the glue that holds the four of them together.
Yes, or the five in the end.
It's I think her chemistry with Pedro Pascal actually was spot on.
I think there was something there. Yeah.
It was like actually watching a married couple on the big screen. Sometimes, it sort of feels a little bit forced.
Yeah.
But this felt very natural, and I think they were both very, very good on screen together.
I agree.
Pedro Pascal. Is he my Mr. Fantastic?
I know what you mean. I can't quite put my finger on it. I think he might be a bit too serious for me. But then again, that's the tone of the film. We're used to a disapproving, sighing version from, was it? I can't remember the guy's name now. Griffith? Reed Griffith, is it?
Reed Richards?
No. Oh. The actor.
Oh.
The Welsh guy who played it previously.
Oh, yeah, I know what you mean.
He was very good, but he was charming and he was, again, charismatic and he was playful in his disapproving of Johnny's behaviour. But the version that we got with Pedro was very serious and he had the weight of the world on his shoulders, but it kind of does in the film. So you kind of understand it, and it's a different way of portraying the character. And I have to sleep on it, but I think you're right. Or at least I think what you're referring is it's not quite what we're expecting.
It's probably the closest we've had to the comics. I've read a few Fantastic Four graphic novels. I ran a run back in 2019. It was like a 2-year span. And he does draw on that a little bit.
Okay.
But even in the comics, there's still that playful element of, telling Johnny to, calm down.
Yeah, behave.
It was quite serious. Talking of Johnny Storm, can they please sort his hair out?
Yeah. A bit of a bowl cut going on.
It was awful.
Yeah, not great. But overall, I mean, I think the aesthetic kind of worked. I think it kind of worked together with the whole retro 60s futuristic vibe. Just say one mid and one end credit scene. The mid's more important than the end. The end's
after the mid one, when it cut off to the credits, I just heard you go, "Oh shit!"
Yeah. We can't obviously say anything else until the review. You probably would have seen it at that point anyway. There'll be spoilers coming up. I'm surprised. I mean, I dodged one of them, but I read enough to kind of expect what I was going to say. If you are anything remotely interested in this film, it's not well breaking. It's kind of to be expected. But just watch the film as quickly as you can, because it also takes the shine off some things. I don't know why people want to fucking spoil these films these days, man. Like,
do you know what? I'm surprised that we've both dodged spoilers this time. You had Thunderbolts ruined a couple of times. You put a blog on our WordPress about it. This is not okay. But there were warnings out there. Marvel did put out warnings. Don't ruin the film for everyone.
That's because Ryan Reynolds wasn't involved.
Yeah, quite.
So yeah, I think all in all, I probably need to sleep on it. I really enjoy it. I think it's a really good 2 hours. There were some bum notes, but as we go into phase 6, I think it's one of the strongest films in a long time. Tonally was spot on. It's a breath of fresh air. It was a different kind of film. As I said, it's a disaster film, but it's a superhero film.
Yeah.
And that's lovely to see, because it's always ever going to be about one baddie and people banding together to save the world. It stood on its own, and you don't need 616 and a whole roster of characters and 36 other films, or 37. So I think in itself that's quite a strong indicator that it's a half decent film. Don't know where it stands in my top. I don't think it's in my top 10. Could it be in my top 20? Yeah, probably, actually.
Yeah, I think so.
We've probably got to re-rank them, most likely.
That's one of those things. It will probably change next week.
Oh, yeah, it'll shift.
But I feel like somewhere at the top is always going to have the Winter Soldier, without a doubt.
And the original Ant-Man for me.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, I think it's definitely worth your time. I think it's a solid start to what should be a really interesting, chaotic phase 6. Stay for the end credits. Don't do what this woman did and got up halfway through the first end credits, but even before the mid credits, because that's just absolutely insane. Stay around and put in that good time to ask people to get in contact, Dan, and give us their thoughts and feelings.
Yes, so we're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Threads, Blue Sky, and TikTok, all on the Topic Pod. And then we've got Gmail, which is on the Topic Podcast at gmail.com. And then Alex, we've got YouTube and WordPress.
Yeah, on topicpodcast.wordpress.com. Go give it a visit, go and see our ugly mugs, our bios, our whole back catalogue's on there. So if you don't have a podcast player of a preference, you can stream all of them right there. We've also got some bonus content as well. As Dan mentioned, we've got some blog posts on crisps, on bandmates, and general moanings of spoilers.
I need to write some more, actually. I've got to do 2 more. It's on my 40 before 40 list. I said I'd write 3 blogs. I've done 1 so far, so I need to get on it.
Chop, it's on your homework. And then we've got YouTube. So it's at OTTGITS, and we've got some really stellar AI videos on there. We've got some playlists, and we've got a whole back catalogue of OTT on there for you to peruse and to watch in the background. So yeah, have a listen, have a watch. It's all on there, and stream to your heart's content. But above all, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, subscribe. It's really important. Hit the subscribe button on whatever platform you enjoy listening to us or watching us. And, of course, we're on Spotify for podcasts. You can even get in contact and comment on the podcast direct.
Yes, you can.
But whatever way you do it, please let us know. And please get involved. No spoilers though if you are in a public space. Send us a message or something. You don't want other people to read it. But, yeah, there's absolutely no excuse. Do get in contact, because we're really looking forward to hearing from you.
Yes. Well, next week we've got our big Jurassic World Rebirth review, which we recorded last week. But we just decided not to drop it yet, because we do what we want.
Timey-wimey, crazy stuff. But yeah, that's next week. And then the week after that, we'll have this review.
Yes.
And it should be ample enough time for people to be able to go and see it. That's then about 2 and a bit weeks, isn't it? Before then, we probably take a slight break.
You're on holiday.
We're on hollybobs. Then we'll come back and we'll start all again, and so we look towards then Halloween season.
We'll probably drop a couple of Vault episodes from back in the weekly roundup days.
Yes.
I think we've got an idea of which ones we're going to drop. We already teased one in next episode.
We do.
Mainly, this is all for people that never listen to the weekly roundup days, but we can bring those episodes forward.
Exactly.
Into the OTT realms, especially for YouTube listeners. It's always nice.
Oh, yeah.
Episodes of their time, back when I was a rookie.
It's beautiful.
It is. But I guess that's it for another week, Alex.
It is.
Time to flame on. I've been Dan.
And I'm heralding the end of this episode. I'm Alex.
Oh, that was a good one. I will see you next time.